TC Backer, TC Backer. TC Backer, TC Backer.
What's going on, Facebook world? I'm Chris Baker.
And I'm Ty Backer.
Welcome to episode 72 of Behind the Tool Belt TC Backer Construction. We got one of our employees here, special guest. This is Derek Schaefer. We're going to be chatting with him a little bit here today. We're going to be talking about a recap of the home show over the weekend. It was a great turnout. We had a lot of fun. We got all of our items sold out there, so we were able to donate a lot of money to the Workforce Now program, which is the whole reasoning behind what we did. We got the food drive that we got some more info. We got a date change on that. And we want to recap a little bit about what we got going on here at TC Backer and some people that we're looking for. So how's everyone doing tonight?
Good, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, real good, man. I feel good about the home show. I'm still kind of floating on that high after that because we had such a great time.
Right.
I mean, everybody pulled together at the last minute and throughout the week, and we pulled it off once again. And the Horizon boys, they did a great job. Them and Scott Eckenrod had a beautiful setup.
Absolutely,
and
bro.
Our setup looked great and just had a great time, man. And I really feel like the core group of people who hung out all weekend, really grew closer.
Yeah.
You know?
Because like you said, I think it was in the meeting on Tuesday that you mentioned it. I feel like I know everyone that I work with, but I know them at work. You know what I mean? And like these opportunities give us a time. If I learned anything from this home show, it just reaffirmed the team that we have. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And the camaraderie that we have.
Yep.
Everyone pulls together to get unthinkable things done, man.
Yeah.
Especially with the Horizon guys. That display that they set up in the 24 hours that they had to set that thing up was unbelievable.
It was insane.
It was very, very well put together.
Yeah.
The guys hung out in the booth the whole time, and I had a blast. I mean, I was there all weekend along with you. We had a couple other guys that were there all weekend.
Yep.
A couple of our employees stopped out and saw us and
hung out.
It was just a blast, man. And I think the picture that we projected to the other companies that were at the home show just kind of affirms what we talk about and hear all the time with how our team is and everything and how much fun we have.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't know how many people came back to our booth and was like, dude, we can just hear you guys back here having a blast. I mean, we had a cornhole tournament going. People were getting tased.
Yeah.
Just joking around. Good conversation. Whether it was joking conversation or, serious personal life conversation that you don't normally get to have when you're in a work environment.
No.
It's great.
Yeah.
I had a great time.
Yeah, and I feel like I grew closer to, like Drew and Tom and you and Vic. I just felt like there was a couple of moments where, we were really bonding, and then when like Tyler and Sam showed up, and then Alan, Zach Tyson and his whole family showed up. And,
how about the little guy riding the little dirt bike around all over the place, man?
Yep, it was great, and just to watch the team pull the walls together. Derek and Denny and you guys were just, busting away in what little bit of a shop we have left. Busting that out, and then the weekend that Denny, myself, and Vic threw the solar panel on that roof, and just how everybody came together on that. I mean, everybody did. I mean, there wasn't anything that our entire team touched something.
Absolutely.
That had to.
It's great to switch up and not actually be in the field and come out and be able to have some time to put together, because it just makes you feel more important that you're just not a laborer in the field also. So
and we touched on, I think last show, the importance of, I know that we've done multiple things for charity, and I think every time that we do something, there is someone that makes a comment about, man, I wish I could have been there, I wanted to help. And we talked about last week, just because you're not actually there all the time every time we do something, you're still out in the field playing a part so that this stuff can go down behind the scenes.
Yes.
Like, we had some guys that had to double down and work extra hours because Denny was in this shop every day last week working on stuff, and not having him in the field, having Derek in here one day. We had Mike in here.
Yes.
Anthony was in here. Howie was in here.
Listen, and Derek, you just mentioned, other than being a laborer, dude, you were much more.
I know that.
Than a laborer, and then the point that Chris is trying to make is because you're doing what you're doing is so everyone else could do what they were doing. Just like when you were here and other guys were out in the field working, it was they were doing that so you could help us, and vice versa. Like that whole thing, like we can't do what we're doing without you guys, and you can't do what you're doing without us.
Absolutely,
we're a unit.
Yeah, it's a revolving circle, man.
Yeah, man, it's a unit, and what we have is a great thing. Is there ups and downs?
Absolutely.
Of course there is. Is it going to be perfect? No. And I was thinking this. I made a silly comment one night where it was like, I don't think that I've ever made a bad decision, but I may have made decisions that required other decisions. Okay. And what I meant by that is throughout making a bad decision, okay, there's a learning lesson to be experienced at that given time. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying it may have required me to make a different or another decision, because I've learned from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I was with a guy in the field today, and he was apologizing for messing up the metal, and I'm like, look, man, as long as you're learning from your mistakes, that's all that matters. Man.
Exactly.
That's one of the best ways to learn, man. I don't know how many things that I know today, the only reason I know how to efficiently do them is because I messed them up. You know what I mean? If I don't know about you, man, but if I mess something up, I'm not going to forget that, and I'm not going to do that again.
Gotta be willing to fail to be successful.
Absolutely, and it's not a failure as long as you learn from it. Like
Absolutely.
you said, it's a learning experience.
Yeah,
for sure. You gain knowledge out of that, and that's how a lot of people learn, hands on, and you gotta not be afraid to mess stuff up.
Yeah, man.
But
Yep. For sure. Or take a chance, or take a risk, or try something you've never tried before.
Right.
And honestly, that's probably been 50% of my career, if not more.
Like I'm hanging gutter last week. I probably hung gutter 3 times in my life, and here I am.
Right, and you did a great job.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I mean, you did a fantastic job. It didn't take you all day long, and it wasn't the easiest. You know what I mean?
I needed a refresher. I wasn't too sure about how to put the miters on the 90s, if it went the whole way to the face of the gutter or not. But a simple phone call answered that question real quick. And
Absolutely.
We had a little conversation after that and laugh afterwards. And like I said, it got done.
Absolutely. And that's the cool thing about mostly everybody that works here. It's, you guys are all mechanically inclined. You know what I mean? There's not really one person that solely specializes in just one little aspect of the construction field. You know what I mean? You're not just a window specialist, but there's much more that you can do, whether it be hanging siding, doing roofing, hanging gutters, and bust
I
out
was,
windows.
I was in a machine shop before I came here, and all I did was run parts. So that's the best thing. Like sometimes I do a lot of rubber, sometimes I do a lot of windows, but I never know what I'm walking into because I have a variety of materials to work here with TC Backer. So that's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you came on the show tonight, man. I forgot that I had mentioned it to you.
But hey, I tell you, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's great. You know what I mean? Because we want to get everybody on here. It's kind of like tonight's your night, man. You're on the spotlight.
Oh,
you know what
stop.
I mean?
You're going to make me blush even more. I'm already red.
You know what I mean? It is, you're the man of the night. You're the man of the week. You know what I mean? And show our appreciation. We want to tell you, how much of a great job that you do. And thank you for joining us because honestly, we do this for you guys. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then you guys cash that check our asses writing tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? We're going to sit here and pump us up, but you guys are the ones out there signing those checks.
Absolutely, man.
You know what I mean? And thank you for that, for going out there and doing a good job. And I know it's not always the easiest thing to do. And some days it's raining or it's snowing or it's cold or it's too hot or the work condition just sucks. You know what I mean? But you suck it up, you get out there and you get it done, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Along with your coworkers, everybody. And that's why everybody, we should, rotate on who comes on the show. And so people can see, these are the guys putting your windows in. This is the guy that's doing the rubber on your house. This is the guy that's doing the gutters and the siding repairs and the roofing repairs. This guy right here.
Yep.
Derek Schaefer with TC Backer Construction, man. And that's something to be proud of.
Absolutely, man.
I wear it proudly.
Awesome.
I can say that.
Yeah, that's awesome. What up, Pappy?
Yeah.
He just says hi to me so he can say bake stain. I know that's the only reason
He loves
hi to me. He loves it. He absolutely loves it. I think we're 72 episodes consecutively that he's called me bake stain on here. So
72.
I'm looking for you every week, Pappy.
Yeah, and what about that? 72 freaking episodes.
I know, dude.
Going strong.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I feel like we're still gaining momentum. I feel like we're still getting traction, and it doesn't seem like it's as much of a struggle as it was early on. You know what I mean? And then there for a minute, it was like, oh my God, what are we going to come up with content tonight? And now it's just kind of like we roll with it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we learned that the more you think about it, the harder it is to pull off.
For sure.
We just come up here and talk, man. It's not scripted. It's not edited. It's real. You know? And I think that's what makes it the best.
It is.
So.
It's raw. You know what I mean? It's unscripted. It's raw, and and every now and then I have to watch what I say, right? Because I forget. Sometimes about 20 minutes into it, I'll forget that we're on camera, and it's like I want to start dropping F-bombs, and
we're just
construction lingo.
Right.
I had my daughter on a roof before, and she's like, "Oh, he said that." It was actually with Colin and Tyler down at the beach, and they're like, "She's like, I never thought Colin would talk like that." I'm like, "What happens on the roof stays on the roof, baby."
That's right. That's right. Exactly.
That's good stuff.
Yeah,
man.
it is. That's definitely good stuff.
Yeah. So we had a great turnout at the home show.
Yeah, we did.
We had at the end of Sunday, we had a little bit of a bidding war going on for one of the greenhouses. Everything sold. Carmine from Frank's Granite and Marble ended up walking away with the bar. I'm not sure who bid on the potting station. I think it was just a person that came to the show. I think it was
one of the exhibitors.
Oh, was
she
it?
was with what is it? The flower club or those people that were down at the other end selling flowers.
Yeah, and then we had a gentleman from Hagerstown ended up buying the shed style.
Yeah,
the shed style greenhouse, and the other one, I thought that he was going to end up buying the other one, but I guess he submitted on his bid, and it went to I can't think of his name right now.
Well, George Myers won
George
one.
Myers, that's it. Yeah,
and then
George
a gentleman from Hagerstown won the other one, and he actually wants us to build him some more.
Yeah.
And something a little bit bigger to put lawnmowers and tractors and stuff in. So
that's funny. When we pulled up to the home show, I said, "Are we building greenhouses now?" And they said, "If you're buying them."
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And
I guess we are.
They went, and it was crazy because there was a bidding war on the greenhouses, but there was a time restraint, 12 o'clock in the afternoon PM. They shut it down, and I think they actually ran it to like 12:30. But I think they should have kept going a little further. But all of the proceeds were donated to Workforce Now program, which is a great program. And Haley reached out to me today, and they want to be a part of the food drive.
Oh, awesome.
Because we did so much, they're like, hey man, we want to help out with the food drive. So
Awesome.
we got to get them the information because they want to post it, they want to help out, they want to promote it as well.
That's awesome, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah. So talking about the food drive here, we had a little bit of a change just so that we could get a little bit more traction on it, because I feel like we maybe put it a little bit too close to the home show, in order to give this thing the justice that it needs.
Right.
So we moved the date to June 17th. Nothing else about it is changing other than the date. That's actually Thursday. We're still going to be out there 1 to 4. We're still going to be at the same place. We're still going to be accepting the same donations. But just to kind of add to it, we're also trying to scrounge together $5,000 in monetary donations that we can also give to them. So if anyone out there wants to donate to that cause, let us know. You can make checks payable to TC Backer Construction. We're not going to keep a dime of it. It's all going to go to the well.
Yep.
And that's just going to go towards any kind of other stuff. I mean, you figure some of these people probably get paid to work there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And any kind of financial burdens that they may have, or
Right.
if there's some items that maybe we don't get a whole lot of, let's just say maybe we're short on size 5 diapers, maybe more.
Right.
Well, here's some money to get some more size 5 diapers, or get
Exactly.
some toothpaste, or
Yep.
whatever they got to do. So this is a 24/7, 365 thing here. So hopefully we can do enough just to make a dent. I'd love to be able to roll up there with 6 trucks full of stuff,
Yeah,
but anything's going to help. So
Yeah.
if anyone out there is interested, let us know, and we'll direct you in the right place.
Exactly. So having said that, John has something on our website. It is actually the older version of the flyer. So we got to get him a copy of this so he can get that on the website. So if you do go on the website, the date is wrong. It'll have this month's date, the 22nd, but we postponed it to June 17th, which is a Thursday. We just kind of thought, give it a little more time. I think, like Derek came tonight, he said he didn't even know anything about this. I just think we were so overwhelmed with the home show that we were distracted, and weren't able to promote it the way that we wanted to promote
Right.
it. So we decided to postpone it till June 17th, which I think will be great. And again, YBA reached out to me today. They want to get involved with it. So, I mean, that's really, all great stuff. So, we get their support. We get a couple other local businesses or individuals that want to get involved. I know Colin, and I think his softball team got together some stuff. I know Glenn, Chuck, and I think Gio had donated cash already. Jim Hankey from Bobcat of York donated $500
Oh, nice.
cash. So right now we're up to $750, and then as Vic and I spoke about it today, so whatever cash we come up with as a family, as a team, as TC Backer Construction, we will match that. So if we can raise $2,200, TC Backer Construction will match $2,200. So then we'll have $4,400 or
That's
whatever,
awesome, man.
whatever it is. So we'll match whatever cash comes in. I figured, and I could be wrong, but I think the last thing we spoke about is the girls will go shopping. We'll send the girls out on a Monday, go to Walmart, try to fill up as many carts as they can with food, diapers, hygiene stuff, deodorant, razors, shavers, peanut butter
Yep.
and jelly, canned fruit, canned vegetables, all that good stuff. Non-perishable mac and cheese, laundry detergent, shampoo, body wash, and any and all personal care. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And also, real quick, I just want to touch on something here real quick. Tyler just texted me and said that the gentleman that I spoke to you about earlier that lost his mother a few days ago. There's a guy that's pretty close to a couple of our employees here that just lost his mother, and I guess he's having some financial hardships with getting a quality service put together for her. So there's a GoFundMe page. We're going to go ahead and post that on our website after the show here. If any of our followers or watchers would be willing to donate anything to that cause, I can only imagine the distraught he's in right now. Not only losing your mother, but then having to worry about giving a proper burial, which I mean, I couldn't even imagine it.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. So that touches a little close to home with some of our guys. So we want to show our support and get that out there. So there's a GoFundMe page. His name is Richard Myers. So if anyone out there wants to donate to that, or if you're having trouble finding that, or want to make a personal contribution to it, reach out to one of us. Tyler Richards, Colin Cross, Cody Rogers, myself, Ty. Any of us can get you in touch with this gentleman. So TC Backer family's heart goes out to you, buddy, if you're watching. We're sorry for your loss, and hopefully we can help out any way that we can.
For sure, man. Yeah, that's tough, losing a family member.
Yeah.
Been there, did that. There's no magic words.
No, there really isn't, man. There really isn't. And a mom of all people. I'm not trying to discredit any other family member, but the mom's the mom, man.
Sure.
It's everyone can probably attest to it, especially a male figure. Your mom's your mom.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So my heart goes out to you, buddy. If there's anything that we can do to help you out, our phones are always on. I don't know you personally, never met you, but my phone's always on for you. So
absolutely.
So yeah, let's switch gears here a little bit and start plugging some questions into Derek here, because I'm curious some of these responses, man. What's your favorite thing about working at TC Backer?
Actually, the giving you guys do. I've worked for many of people. I worked for family. I worked for friends. I've worked for just people that are businessmen. And the amount of what Ty gives back to the community, what TC gives back to the community is it's heartwarming. It made my kids were part of the turkey drop and just pushing people through line. And my daughter just told me about how good she felt after helping, and
it's a humbling experience.
That reward of feeling good, it makes you feel good to be a part of something that's so big that has their hand in the community, and that's the first thing that I tell people when they ask me about TC Backer and the family-oriented style that we got going on here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and I know we really try to push that and promote it. I mean, I've been in business for a while, or some way, shape, or form, whether it would be a subcontractor, or I've ran crews or ran other companies and things of that nature. And there's different styles and methods of management that I've gone through over the years. Do you know what I mean? I've been all over the spectrum. I've ran it with an iron fist. I've ran it where I've walked on.
I think I've seen the changes over the 6 years I've been
right
here.
You know what I mean? I've been, gone through so many life changes and deaths in the family, and believe it or not, things like that change a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mature as the company matured, as I matured. I've learned to, I got to give it away if I want to keep it. And I've seen that time and time and time again, whether it be in my personal life, whether it be in watching someone else grow and them giving it back, and or in business. You know what I mean? You got to give it away to keep it. Okay, so what I mean by that is what has been so freely given to me. You know what I'm saying? Really, it's been given to me. I've been given an opportunity to not only, better myself, but be able to better other people and the community. You know what I mean?
Definitely a positive vibe that's being shared throughout.
Yeah, man, and just talking about that just gave me goosebumps. You know what I mean? And to be able to do the 21 turkey salute, okay? I remember at one point in time in my career where it was like I was so devastated if I was going to make payroll or not. You know what I mean? Thank God. That's like the least. And honestly, and I've made a lot of mistakes over the years, but I honestly feel like because of trying to do the next right thing, things have always worked out for me. Do you know what I mean? So they could work out for other people as well. You know what I mean? I wasn't out robbing people. I wasn't, stealing from people. I wasn't dishonest. I've always tried to do the next right thing, even if it was like the worst thing. Do you know what I mean? I tried to do what I felt like was the worst thing, but honesty was the best policy. You know what I mean? And again, I haven't been perfect at it, and there may have been times where I didn't realize that I was being dishonest. You know what I'm saying? Just because of where I was in my mental state at that time. Or the things that I may have said to somebody might have been like, oh, wow, that was kind of screwed up, wasn't it? You know what I mean? But I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm sorry.
Absolutely. You went off the handle on me once or twice, but the next day we were all huggy and lovey and dovey and made sure that we're on the same page, reading the same book.
And I mean, let's face it, man. This is a construction company. You know, it's not nice work sometimes. You know, you're getting your hands dirty. Sometimes you're in some messed up situations trying to fix something that it just sometimes can't be fixed.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're sometimes
Absolutely.
out there polishing turds, and you know, when it comes down to it, somebody's paying us to do something, whether that's what we recommend or not. When it comes down to it, money talks.
Right.
And if they want us to fix something that needs to be replaced,
Right.
we got to fix it. It's their money. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And sometimes it puts you in situations where, you know, tempers can fly sometimes. But
Absolutely.
I'd like to meet a brother and sister that don't argue sometimes. You know what I mean? Like that's how I look at it. You know, I can have my temper flare to somebody in this company, but you best believe that 5 minutes later I'll give them the shirt off my back because that's my brother.
And
You know what I
even,
mean? And that's just how it works.
not even 5 minutes. And that's the thing. The family argues.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to have your ups and you're going to have your downs. You know what I mean? But that's honestly, in those moments, after those moments, I feel like sometimes that brings you a little closer together.
Absolutely, because you see the careness, the kindness, and
Right.
you actually have a heart. You're not just a businessman. You
Right.
care. I'm a single dad. I got 3 girls, 50-50 custody.
Right.
You ask me to work Saturday. Saturday don't work. I can come in Sunday. You're totally cool with that. Just make sure you get your time in.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all you ask, and I'm
Exactly.
appreciative of that too.
See, and that's one of those things, you know, I think in a lot of business owners' eyes, like, ooh, overtime, ooh. Do you know what I mean? But really, it's not even about that. It's are you providing for your family? That's how I look at it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We're capable of allowing that to happen.
Absolutely. I'm always over 45 to 50 hours each week.
You know, and even when times were weird there for a minute, it was still,
Absolutely.
is
I got
everyone
my-
else taken care of? You know what I mean? And that
Times
has-
were weird, and we were buying houses, and people were buying vehicles, and we're hiring, and
Right.
So I mean, times were weird, but you know, our family held us together and pushed
Absolutely.
us through this thing. And honestly, man, last year was our best year that we ever had.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Through a pandemic and everything. So
For sure.
I mean, the numbers don't lie. You know what I mean?
Right. No.
And the fact that we were able to hire people and you know, whether or not those people are still here currently, but you know, another thing about construction is you go through people sometimes. You know, you're gonna hire somebody that, you know, says they're a roofer,
Right.
And then you're gonna get them on a roof, and they're gonna be like, "Whoa,
This ain't
for
the
me."
rancher that I was
Yeah,
walking.
man, this ain't for me. It's not for everyone. So sometimes we go through 5 or 6 people before we find one that really can do what we do every day. Because let's face it, guys, not a lot of people can do what we do every day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is
No.
a different breed.
It
you know?
is.
Roofing and construction in general is a different animal.
Yeah.
And you know, it's easy to look at something on a piece of paper and say, yeah, I could do that. But when you're actually out there in the field for 12 hours, it's 100 degrees outside. You're hot. You're sweaty.
Right.
And you got to stand on this 12-12 all day.
Right.
And feel that burn in your calves.
It's
Not
cold.
everyone can do that.
It's cold out where the wind's blowing.
Right.
You know what I mean? People are expecting us to be there, and 98% of the time we're there.
Yeah.
At least attempting.
Right.
You know what I mean? No
Right.
matter what the weather is, or, you know, guys are still coming in. It's like, and that's just not how. I think most roofing companies, you know, a rain day is a roofer's holiday.
Yep.
That's not the case here. I would say 90% of the people still come in.
Yeah, and you know, that might keep us from doing something that we had scheduled, because you know, if you don't want to put somebody on a steep roof when it's raining, but
Right.
we do so many aspects of construction here. Just because it's raining outside doesn't mean we can't replace windows. Doesn't mean we can't do gutter. Doesn't mean we can't repair a piece of siding under a porch.
Right.
We can't do soffit. We can't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
There's so many aspects of it. Or you know, maybe that's a day that we bring our guys in and do safety training, or
Right.
we
We
teach
work
them
on
about
the display.
solar, or we work on the display for something, or
Yes.
you know what I mean. There's
Yep.
so many different things that are going
For
on
sure.
on a daily basis.
For sure.
You know, rain days can be a rain day if you want it to be a rain day. But I always tell all my guys that work underneath me, if you want to work, come in.
Yeah.
I'll find something for you to do.
Yep.
You know,
For
if,
sure.
If you don't want to, stay home. But if you want to come in and you want to work, I'll find something for you to do.
Man.
But we don't really have a whole lot of that issue, man. It's not a whole lot of where are the guys at. You know what I mean? We don't get that a whole lot. So
Yep.
I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for everything that you do, man. You show up and suit up every day.
For sure.
It's not ever a where's Derek. You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, okay, so Janet had mentioned something earlier
seen
about
that.
you
Yep.
and Derek, or you and Denny were
It was below zero, and
Yeah.
the wind was horrible that day. We were down in Delta somewhere, and News 8 just showed up and was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing out here? We have a job that needs to get done.
We're working, man.
We're getting this job." Well, PP&L's not even having their guys out today. Well, like you said, we're a different breed.
Yeah. They actually called the
Yep.
office to see if guys were working. It must have been like the coldest day on record or something. So they called us, and we called you guys like, hey, I think they're going to come out there, so be ready for them. And Derek was on there, Denny was on there, Rob Weaver.
Yeah, inside contractors for the investor that we work for.
Right, yeah. He was on there. I think I have that saved someplace. I should look for that.
I know it's on my Facebook memories. It's
Yeah.
just going to have to, that day, it'll
Right.
pop back up. I'll
Yeah.
tag you in it.
Okay,
if
cool.
It's not on your memories.
Yeah, because that was good stuff, man. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? And you guys are still here, and that may have been longer than 2 years ago.
It had to have been because it was before I started here. Because
Yeah.
I remember when I first started, I heard about that. Like I heard a story about how that happened before, and I've been here over 3 years now. So,
Right. Yeah.
it had to have been.
And the
little
boys
while
got her done too that day. We were there. They were there. They got it done, and
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. It's 6 years. It's all jammed together.
Yeah.
You guys asked me about a house last week, and it's like, hold on, let me look on my schedule. And okay, yeah. Now I know what you're talking about.
How many windows were there?
right. Did they fit in the hole?
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
another topic.
Yeah. I bet they did back then because I'm.
Well, yeah, you're right.
That was when I was in the swing of things,
They fit
Shots
tight
fired.
back then.
right?
They were exact fits.
That's
back
how
then.
I liked it. That's how when I did windows. That's how I wanted it to fit in. I
A
don't
little
like
little bit of insulation.
I
on the
don't
side,
like
man.
using
You're good.
shims, man. I don't like shims.
My partner, he's always about running to get a shim. I'm like, that's your new nickname.
Shim.
You're being called Shim for now.
Right? right?
Hold on, I got it. We got a shim. I got one in the truck.
Yeah, that's old school, man.
Yeah, man.
Shims are old school.
That's the good stuff there.
Yeah.
And nowadays they got those sweet multi-tools that you can cut them off real nice and easy.
Yeah.
You don't have to smack them or cut them with your razor blade and smack them with a hammer.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I received 2 of them in the mail.
Multi-tools.
Yeah, man.
I wish someone would send me multi-tools.
I had no idea. It has our address on it and everything, man. I held on to it just in case someone came looking for them. But brand new DeWalt, two of them, multi-tools.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, damn, DeWalt.
yeah.
Maybe
Thank
they want
you,
us to
DeWalt.
test them out in the Smash
Maybe
Lab,
we
man.
need to hang their name on the wall and become
Yeah.
a sponsor of ours.
Maybe.
Maybe that's what it was,
I mean, they send me one. I'll definitely make sure it gets a hung up on there.
right? There you go. Yeah.
Now, but so my famous question that I ask everyone while they're on here, man, what motivates you to get up and show up and do the Sundays?
Like
and,
you just said, he's making sure that I'm providing for my family, and that's what drives me is my family.
Family,
the
kids.
the end result of when they grow up and they realize, wow, Dad worked really hard, and I can't thank you enough for having the work and dibbling in solar and making sure that you're 10 steps ahead of the pandemic and on the right page.
Yeah.
That's 6 years. I think I had 2 days off, and that's because we didn't know what the governor was doing with working and allowing us to work. And
Right.
You gave me a call and said, "Hey, I got a permit to work. You want to work?" I said, "Yeah, I want to work," and we were right back at it, swinging the hammer.
Yeah.
So
Good stuff.
that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you're here, buddy. Not just tonight, but here with us.
I appreciate
You know what I mean? I've watched you grow, and I'm sure you've watched me grow, like you'd mentioned earlier.
I don't think I had gray hair when I started.
Me neither. Me neither, buddy.
I don't think I had them either.
I don't think you did either, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But it's been fun.
It happens, man. It happens.
Right.
I can probably name out a reason for every one of these gray hairs,
I feel ya.
but I wouldn't change it, man. I wouldn't change it, because it's growing pains.
Right.
It's growing pains, and I truly deep down really believe that 5, 10, 15 years from now, we're going to be sitting back looking at everything that we went through this whole thing, and that we're going to continue to go through,
Yep.
and be like, this this is why we did it. You know what I mean? So we could be right here, right now.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I truly believe that.
Yeah.
And you know what makes that work is having a team that truly believes that. You know what I mean? If people don't believe in the vision and they're just out there to get a check, that's all it's going to be. You know what I mean? You gotta have a team of guys out there that share the same vision, that are hungry and grind every day, man. And I think we got a really good group of guys that do that every day, and gals. I don't want to forget the ladies either, because they grind too. But yeah, man. So that's a good answer. That was my answer too. My kids, work ethic, man. I want my kids to, when they get old enough, if they're going to take anything from me, it's work hard for your stuff and take care of your family.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's important to me. So, and I think that's what a lot of our guys say. I think I'd be curious to see what everyone would say, but I'm pretty sure that most of our guys are going to have that same response.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They do it for their family.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, mostly everybody has a family here, and you know that makes a difference, I think.
Yeah. Well, what really makes a difference, I was talking to Tom about this, one of the personal conversations that I had with Tom and I think Lauren when we were at the home show this weekend, and you know, you can attest to this, I think. When I first started here, I came from a company. It was a commercial roofing company. It was a very successful company. You know, it was a family-oriented thing. You know, everyone was close, but the way that it was led was different. You know, the owner was the owner, and he didn't get his hands dirty. He didn't know a whole lot about the product. You know, it just was what it was. He was an owner. He was a multi-million-dollar owner.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I come here. And I remember, I think it was my first or second week. I didn't know where Ty was. I'm asking where Ty was. Well, Ty's at the beach with his tool pouch on, hanging siding with Jim. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's a multi-million-dollar construction company. Why is our owner hanging siding right now?
Yeah.
Well, that's what he does. And consistently every day, the owner of my company has been here before me and leaves after me. You know what I mean? And that, dude, that says a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier for guys like us to work hard, to put those hours in, to come in on a Sunday, to dedicate whatever we dedicate. You know what I mean? It makes it a lot easier when your leader is right there next to you doing that. You know what I mean? You don't feel like you're just a number, that you're just out here putting money in this guy's pocket. You know what I mean? It makes it a lot easier to do it. And I think that a lot of people would attest to that. And I think that plays a big role in why we are successful. You know what I mean? Because of our leadership.
Thank you.
That's kudos to you.
When I first started, I was down to a one vehicle family, and the kids' mom was driving that back and forth, and I was sitting out on the dock waiting for my ride to show up, and Ty came walking out, and he let me know that he appreciated it, and he gave me the rundown and told me about, you know, he used to wear his tool belt. He doesn't wear it as much anymore because the phone doesn't stop ringing.
Yep.
But he still loves to wear his tool belt, and he still takes pride in wearing that tool belt.
Absolutely.
And that's another thing. Like you said, I came from a machine shop that my great uncle owned. He didn't know how to turn a machine. He just threw the money at the business and watched other people run it for him.
Yeah, I'll pay you to figure this out.
Exactly. Where I called Ty and asked him, hey, does this 45 go to the face of the gutter, or do I just 45 the bottom and where it lines up at?
Right.
Answered my question. He had the knowledge that I needed, and on the rest of the day I went with it.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what aspect we get in, man. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting ready to go on the solar thing. He was the first one certified in it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what avenue we're involved in. It's not too often that you can call the owner of your company and say, hey, how do I do this? And he'll tell you how to do it. You know what I mean? There's not anything that we dabble in on a daily basis that he doesn't know. In fact, I think that you've been saying here lately that one of your biggest problems is you're too focused on the perspective of the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not focused on behind the scenes, the perspective of the business. You know what I mean? You know, where you like to say 100,000 feet up, seeing all of it.
Right.
You know, you have trouble getting to that point sometimes because you're so focused on what's the weather like today.
Right.
How many guys are out there? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's where you're focused on because you're a field guy.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so fresh out of the field.
Right. Yes.
You know, so that goes a long way, man.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've been on mostly that end of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what I'm used to. And we've done good so far with trying to split my brain in 4 pieces to make sure this is over there and that's over there. And it's been a struggle for the past 12 months or so, I would say, where I've delegated a lot of those out in the field tasks to you, to Brandon, to Glenn, and I don't order roofs anymore. You know what I mean? I don't call the subs at night anymore and give them more of their job. And I'm having a hard time. I'll be honest with you. I'm having a hard time navigating. What am I supposed to be doing right now?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Not that I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's kind of like.
Am I spending my time wisely right now?
Yeah,
am I
right.
doing the things that I should be doing as an owner?
Right.
Because, I mean, dude, you didn't have a book. This
No.
wasn't handed to you and
Right.
someone was like, look, this is what you need to do.
Right.
And think of all the things that we've been through that are unprecedented things. Like this pandemic, ain't no one ever been through this.
No.
You know what I mean? There was questions that, you and the people that you mentor and or are mentored by.
Right, exactly.
There was a lot of phone calls made between
Yes.
people. Me and you spoke, and like here I am. I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
whatever you say sounds good to me, bro.
Right.
But it's
And that changed every 5 minutes.
Absolutely, and it's refreshing, and that's one of the good things about working here, man. And that's one thing that I think all of the employees will attest to is just the leadership is good, and hopefully there's always room for improvement, and we're
Yes.
constantly looking on how we can improve, how we can make these guys' lives easier. How we can make sure that we're not sitting there one day wondering what we're going to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When another pandemic comes up or, anything that were to happen, I'm not scared of a pandemic anymore. Like, go ahead and shut everything down.
Right.
We're good.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
For real.
seriously.
Absolutely.
I can go anywhere in this world and my guys will
Yep.
have work tomorrow and
Yep.
know what to do. We have a
Absolutely.
plan in place.
Yep.
We have a group of people that have a plan in place
Yes.
and know what they do.
Right.
It's just...
People
You
are
learn from
always
it.
going to need a roof, and now
Yeah,
that we're dabbling
absolutely.
in solar, they're always going to need electric,
Right.
unless they're Amish,
Exactly. And who knows? They might even switch to solar. You never know.
Yeah.
They're using power tools in the field now,
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You never
And
know,
driving
man.
trucks.
yeah, they don't hire that guy to drive them
No.
around anymore.
No, they don't.
Right.
do that. It's crazy. No, we have. We definitely have. Sorry, I'm reading some other things that are popping up there. We've definitely overcome a lot of weird shit over the past 14 months.
Yeah, man.
And like you said, what came out of it was really all positive. You know what I mean? We realized how rock solid the foundation is. You know what I mean? We realized how rock solid our leadership is. And that trickles on down. Derek was more than, like you said, when I called you, we were up and down. Friday we were supposed to close. I got something like at 12:58 that we were allowed open till Monday. And then Monday morning, another weird email came through at like 12:57 in the morning stating that we were exempt and why we were exempt and blah, blah, blah. And that's when we were like, let's do this. You know what I mean? Because they weren't closing Maryland down. They didn't close Delaware down. And they did close Pennsylvania down, that's for sure. But I guess we were deemed essential is the long and the skinny of it. And thank goodness for that. And, even we would have been fine without that just because of our
We
reach.
had a plan in place.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You were going to go down and get a storage shed, and
Yeah, right.
that was going to be our office in Maryland, and we were going to operate out of Maryland and
Yeah.
continue to do our thing
Right.
just in another state. You know?
Exactly.
And that's part of why you're extending your reach in so many different places, and sometimes it might not make sense to me. It might not make sense to Derek. It might not make sense to some of the guys under there, but
Right.
I know that it makes sense.
Yes, for
you know what I
real.
mean? Because you're talking to the people that are buying the land, that are making the big decisions in
Right.
a lot of these big places. And if builders are buying land, we're good. You know
Right.
what I mean? Because it takes 2-3 years to develop that land. So
Yep.
if they're buying land right now,
Yes.
we got work for at least 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
for sure.
So and honestly, it's more than that because it takes them 2 years to develop that, and then probably 5 years to put 1,000 homes in there.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
So, it's all good stuff, man.
It
It's all
is.
good stuff, and I love the fact that we're run by people that are looking at that stuff. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure we could just continue to just install roofs and install siding and install gutters and windows for the next 25, 30 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just be just fine. But we want more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want more out of this, you know? I know that one of your big things is at some point in time you want somebody to retire from TC Backer.
Absolutely.
You know, and,
Yes.
and that's going to be an awesome feeling, I'm sure, for yourself.
Yeah.
To have somebody.
And it's not going to be me first.
It won't. I know that.
You know.
I don't even think that you're going to be the fifth one.
No.
Honestly, man.
No. Well, I'll be honest with you. Okay, so Perry. We don't talk a lot about Perry. So Perry is actually working on some things behind the scenes, and I guess I might as well. He's working on getting us a license somewhere right now. Okay, so that's what Perry's doing. So he's on the last final stretch of that, and I said, as soon as you're done with that, I need you to start working on North Carolina. As soon as you're done that, I want you to start working on South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. So we went over a game plan today. So just so everybody knows, we're moving. Yeah. I mean, not
you
physically.
Told me that 6 years ago.
But
Florida's your end game.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
To go down the East Coast,
yeah,
and here we are.
And we'll come across, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. That's the game plan. So Perry knows here in the next 3 to 4 weeks he's going to start working on North Carolina's licensing. So we're going to do this.
Yeah, we went from working in new construction and just some investors, and I would say over the last year and a half, 2 years, I've been in more homeowners' houses and did stuff for homeowners than the last 4 years combined.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's just the outreach and the stretch of the business that you keep going on, and the salesmen that we hired. We've never had this many salesmen.
Yeah.
No, ever. You know what I mean? Never. And you're right. And what I envision is, my vision is, I want to have 10 trailers out here, 30-foot long trailers that say storm response team, that have generators, compressors, tarps, ladders, lights, anything that we would need to go and respond to any storm anywhere, whether it be in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, or Florida. So when that happens, we can deploy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is what I really want to happen. Not that that's the full direction that we're going, but the way that I see it. And again, I'm going to share my vision with you. It's recession proof.
Right.
There's always going to be storms, especially along the coast. There's always going to be storms. Wouldn't it be great to have an office in the Outer Banks?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, hey, man, can I take a vacation and go working at the Outer Banks office for a week, bro?
Yeah. And that's going to be, by the end of summer, that's very possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's real.
No.
That's not just a pipe dream. That's reality is what that is. And that's where we're going. You know what I mean? And we got training that you guys are going to be involved with. I don't know if Lauren spoke to you yet about it. I know she said something to Colin and maybe a couple other people. But we have training in place that we want you guys to start, going through this training, the storm training, the GAF Field Pro Guidebook, and we got the SVG University training, and there's all kinds of stuff in it. You'll have login, any questions there is that you need to know about storm or insurance or documents about when a shingle was last manufactured, so you can't repair it because they don't make the shingle anymore, so you got to replace it. I mean, all of this information is in this university that we're involved with now. You know what I mean? So everybody, and at the last meeting, I think it was that everybody's going to be certified. Everybody. I don't care if it's from Kim down to the new guy that just learned how to install gutter. I want everybody to be able, so when you see those 30-foot trailers out there with bunkhouses in it, that at any given time we can deploy. Mm-hmm. That's my vision.
That's good stuff there, man.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. So I let it out. That's it. We're doing it.
Yeah. I believe you, man. I believe you. I remember my first week you were telling me how you planned on manufacturing your own brand of windows, and I thought that you were crazy, and I was like, okay, cool, sounds good.
Yeah, right.
And I'm surrounded by Weather Buster by TC Backer Windows now here 3 years later. So
right on.
I'm with you, bro.
And that we're dragging them with us. You know what I mean? And we'll show everybody one night in the Smash Lab how well our windows will hold up under tornado.
Yeah, like, you want to come shoot some hurricane windows with a crossbow, bro? Yeah. That'd be fun, eh?
Right.
That's what I'm trying
I have enough fun just throwing the windows in the dumpster. We put some weapons in there.
Yeah.
It's even better.
Yeah. Chris has a nice crossbow that we want to shoot, and I want to throw 2x4s through it to see if I can actually throw it through it. We got all kinds of ideas that we just We got to get the manpower. We got to get, good people, get you guys trained. That way at any given time, and who knows, you might be like, you know what, Ty, I want to move the Outer Banks. Do you mind if I run that office? Do it. And I trust you. You know what I mean? Or if Denny's like, yo, man, I want to end up in Florida.
Goosebumps.
I want to semi-retire in Florida. All right, go for it. There you go.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or whatever. However, if you say, hey, I want to be the one that goes and gets certified in Louisiana. Okay, go for it. Set you up, get you what you need, take the test, whatever, it's a team that we need each other, and it's like we can't do this without you guys. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I think with our manpower that we have out in the field, predominantly with roofing and siding, I think it anything is possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With those guys that are out in the field that we have, really the sky's the limit, and it is. You know what I mean? And again, as long as we continue to keep doing the next right thing, you know what I mean? We're not ripping people off. We're not doing shitty work. You know what I mean? We're giving them the best warranties in the industry. We're using the best products, and we have the best guys to perform those duties.
Yeah.
Yeah, I showed up on a customer's house, and she wanted to take me in and show me her leaks. And I said, let's do it my way. I'm going to go up on your roof, and I'm going to find the leaks from the exterior. I'm going to take pictures of what I think's wrong with your roof, and then we'll come down and we'll talk about what the insurance adjuster found. And I came down and I showed her all this stuff, and she was like, I can tell you're not here trying to sell me something I don't need.
Right.
These are the exact same pictures the insurance adjuster took. You're right on top of your game. And I said, your roof's a 15-year roof. I said you have a 25 or 30-year shingle on your roof, and I said it's probably about half of your life expectancy. And I said probably about 15 years. She goes, oh my God, my roof is 16 years old. I said, well, that shows my decade of being in the field and the experience that I had prior to TC, the 6 years, and whatnot.
Exactly.
To do what I do.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good stuff. You're about to get Zach to jump ship on Kinsley there, man.
I'm down.
You're speaking his.
We
his
need a
language.
big truck like that. Maybe we'll have 10 of those big trucks.
You know what we need him to
in
do?
the parking
We need
lot.
to get ourselves a man lift and have Zach deliver a man lift to our job site. So
There
we
you
can
go.
Stop renting them. Sorry, Carmelo.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he just called me yesterday too. And
Did
was
he?
he's like, man, I've been, sharing all you guys' stuff. You guys are killing it out there, man.
Yeah.
I support you guys 100%. I talk to everyone that I talk to about any kind of exterior stuff. I always recommend you guys. So I'm sorry, Carmelo, that I even just said that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but
maybe he'll come to work for us
yeah,
also.
yeah, and
Give us
maybe
a
he
good
could-
in on the lifts and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So we can work that out.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. But no, and I love the vision. I love the vision. And I'm fully invested, and I think I know that you're not just blowing smoke. I know that's real life.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it every day.
Yeah.
So
It's reality, man.
yeah, yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that we need, because that's how you expand. That's how you grow. That's how you make sure that guys aren't just installing gutter for 30 years. You
Right.
know what I mean? Those guys want to go up through the ranks too. And,
Yeah.
they want to start at the gutter, and maybe one day be telling gutter guys where to go and what to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or being somebody that hops in that storm response vehicle and drives it to Virginia
Yep.
to respond to a storm.
Right.
I wouldn't say I was a green thumb when I first started, but I didn't know half the stuff that I know now. And one of the best advice that I got, Ty said to me, don't worry, anything you mess up, this man right here can fix. And that was Denny. And what do you know? He has pulled me out of some stuff by
Right.
fixing it. And that's the best thing about the industry.
Yeah.
Whatever you mess up, you can literally fix with your craftsmanship.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Lauren just added something to that story that you just said about that lady. She said the same lady Derek is talking about called in a couple days ago and said that she would like us to do the work and that she accepted our estimate, but would only get it done by us if Derek personally came out and did the work, because she was so happy with how he did everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You can't make that stuff up, man.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's why you do what you do. You know what I mean? Like that kind of response from the homeowners, because let's face it, man, sometimes
She,
you don't get those responses from homeowners.
She told me that she's like, what type of estimate would you give me? I was like, I can't talk numbers. That's not my department.
Yeah.
She's like, well, you have to understand, I'm a female dealing with men in construction. I said, I got the perfect thing for you. We have female salesmen that you'll be able to talk to.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess Lauren took it over from there. And
Yeah.
it's working out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And let's talk about women in construction. You know what I mean? And the opportunities for them as well.
Oh, absolutely. I've swung hammers with girls on
Right.
on roofs.
Right. Absolutely. A lot of our crews have them, whether it be siding or roofing, and then,
Just like I was talking about my daughter. She was
Right.
up on a roof feeding us shingles down at the beach.
Right. Yeah,
So-
for sure. And there's not just positions like that, but like the position that Lauren's in, and Jocelyn, Sam, and Kim. You know what I mean? I don't think a lot of people would know how hard and what they do for the company behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're a construction company. Those women have to put up with us men.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's at least a part-time job in itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to help keep us, keep things together and,
Right.
Remind us of things or
men are messy, men are unorganized, men are a lot of things,
Right.
man. And having the women here, dude, I could not. Could you imagine if there was a male in every role of this company? Could you
Right.
imagine that?
No.
I could not imagine that.
No.
Like, we need our girls for sure.
There'd probably be a lot more frustration.
Oh, my goodness.
And anger floating through the shop.
Yeah. Probably.
Nah,
Keep
but
the testosterone
the girls do a
up.
great job, man. The girls do a great job.
Yes.
All of them, everyone here, from the top of the ladder, the whole way down to the new guy that just learned how to do gutter. I mean, everyone involved in everything does a really good job. They care about their job.
Yep.
And I'm excited to see what happens in the future here.
Me too.
Not to mention all the cool stuff that we get to do for the community. The shows that we do every week. I love this stuff, man. I love it.
Right on. And yes, I can't forget about Jana, because she was one of the pioneers. Her and Perry, and then Kim's been with us now 7 years, and talking about full-time jobs. Jana taking care of me has definitely been a full-time job over the past 10 years. So, but anyhow, a lot of good things are going on. It definitely takes the entire team, and the sky's the limit, man. And I don't plan on slowing down anytime soon, man. And Vic, let's talk about Vic and Tam. Shit, I almost forgot about Tam.
Yeah.
She and Vic, they're falling right in place to, under the costing aspect of things. They're the filter when everything comes through. They filter it first, and then Jocelyn kind of does her little filtration system before she, puts it where she has to put it, in the server. And we're coming up with, and I interviewed a guy today and kind of was giving him like the rundown of things and it's one of those things. It's like I told him, like, we're expanding so rapidly. It's like, okay, so one person did all of this, one person did all of this, and one person did all of this. Now we're finding it's too much. You know what I mean? So we need someone to be an extension of that person to receive some of those phone calls and handle some of those things. And because, like Chris said earlier, it's not like this was handed to us and everybody was already in the right place already, and we could kind of build on that. We're kind of building on top of what we're building on right now. You know what I mean? So we don't always have the right answer or the answer at all for a certain situation that might pop up. And and that's one of the cool things about this thing. It's like trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool, and
It makes it more rewarding when you do figure it out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The failures and the trials and tribulations that you have to go through
Yeah, for sure.
make the reward that much more sweeter when you do figure it out, because you didn't have someone that said, this is how you do it.
No.
You know what I mean? You had to fail 4 times before you figured out that golden 5th time.
Absolutely.
It's just it makes it all worth the while.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we constantly talk about is things are constantly changing and constantly evolving every day. Every day it's something. You know what I mean? Where we got something that changes or something.
Right.
And sometimes it's frustrating.
Right.
It's frustrating for some people in some positions and stuff sometimes to constantly have to move with that change, but that's part of what we do. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's construction, and the stuff changes on a regular basis, especially with the way that we're trying to evolve things with the solar and trying to move to different areas and stuff. Every market's different. You know what I mean? What we go through in new construction and the retail world in Pennsylvania and Maryland, it's going to be a whole new ballgame down in Florida.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's going to be a whole new ballgame in Texas, in Jersey, and you know what I mean? It's we think that we have it figured out here.
Right.
We're going to be green out there. We've never done it out there before.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's going to be trials and tribulations that are going to come along with that too.
Absolutely.
So,
I went to California and they got eaves that are like 4 feet over the edge, and they don't have gutter, and it's like, why are the eaves so? Well, that's how they get the water away from the foundation of the house. So like everywhere you go, there's going to be a different building scenario.
Absolutely.
You're going to have to dabble in to learn.
Yes.
Yeah, and when we do figure it out, and we're successful,
right,
the reward is going to be sweet,
right?
You know what I mean?
And the codes are going to be different too, you know. And but as far as like a shingle manufacturer goes, so let's say there is a 4-foot overhang. Well, that might mean we might have to run 4 or 5 courses of ice and water in order for it to be 24 inches inside the warm wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are the things that we'll have to keep in mind when we're bidding something. Like, oh, that's right, we need to add 8 more rolls of ice and water to this job, to accommodate the pricing correctly. But I'm sure, and that's only something small that being with the experience that we have, we might catch that. You know what I mean? But like you said, there might be way more other things that might pop
That was
up.
just something that stuck out to my eye.
Right.
Until you dig in, you're going to find a lot more.
Exactly.
Right. And some of that might just be where, the first roof that we tear off, we're like, how is this thing done?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And sometimes you got to learn by just getting your hands dirty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And windows are different down there too. You know what I mean? The U factor needs to be more, the solar gain. I mean, all of that has to be different in order to meet code. You know what I mean? If you saw that map that comes on a lot of those windows, it has to meet or exceed those criterias.
Right.
So those are definitely things that we got to be aware of going into it, and hopefully we catch most of it, and the ones that we don't, we'll learn from it.
Right. And the cool thing about it is, let's talk about the GAF training that we have at our fingertips, the SVG University that we have at our fingertips, that we're gonna be able to take with us no matter where we go, because they're national partners.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter where we go, we have resources. With the relationships that we have in the field, to be successful and put our people in successful positions.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, man.
It all comes together, man. It's all good stuff.
Most definitely.
Hopefully, a lot of our team was watching a lot of this stuff tonight and can share the vision and see where all the hard work's going, where we're trying to get to at some point here. And because, like I said earlier, man, we can't do it if not everyone has the same vision.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everyone has to agree and be pumped about it and want to do it in order for us to be successful.
Yeah, for sure. Vic, did Tommy send us a picture this week?
We don't have a picture this week?
Okay. No stress.
You know what? Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe someone didn't go missing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that it's a good thing because nobody went missing.
Absolutely.
Everyone's home.
Right.
Everyone's home. El Siete, you're staying put, bro. York, PA, the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, that's it. Delaware all next week. Colin, are you going to Delaware next week?
Yeah, Jim needs his help, man.
Okay.
Jim needs his help. He's buried down there in services.
All right.
He was talking about it at the home show this past weekend.
Right on.
So, and I mean that's right there. I mean we got a guy that's going to be commuting down to Delaware every day next week, because that's what the team needs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
right.
and Colin's a big contributor, man. He does a lot around here.
Big time.
He's a jack of all trades like Derek is.
Yes.
Just shows up and suits up, man.
Yep.
Shows up and suits up.
Yeah, man.
I think it was yesterday. I was finishing up some work orders at the shop here. It was 4:30, 5 o'clock or something like that, and he was loading up the gutter machine to go do a job after working all day.
I'm sorry, I missed you. I was spacing out.
Yesterday at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, Colin was loading a gutter truck up to go do a job.
For sure.
You know what I mean? When most people, I mean, that's what, 11 hours at that point, Colin?
Yeah, that's 10
or 11 hours
Yeah.
in. And you're coming back to the shop, not to get in your vehicle and go home,
Right.
but to empty out a trailer of all the scrap that was in the back of there and load up to go do a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
our people are different around here, man.
Yeah, for real.
For real. Our people are different. And I think if anything, you know, all the businesses that were involved in the home show really got to see that we're not joking.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
for
Like
sure.
we're serious. We have a good time. We have a good family atmosphere, and our guys are beasts, man.
Yes.
For real. We got the best in the business over here.
Yes, and speaking of which, before we forget, we were definitely looking to hire more people. If you think you can hang with us, come out, check us out, reach out to us. I know Horizons are also looking for help right now. I wanted to mention that as well, because not only are we looking for experienced mechanics as far as the construction end of things go, but we're looking for laborers, people with experience with, you know, lawn mowing, mulching, hardscaping, all those kinds of things. And then we're also looking for an office assistant for both companies. We need one for Horizon, and we also need one for TC Backer Construction. So if anybody knows anybody, you know, give us a shout. Hit us up on our Facebook page. Give us a call at the shop. Hit us up on our cell phone. You know, check us out. So other than that, man, I think this is a really great show, Derek. I'm super grateful, man, that not only did you come on the show tonight, but I'm grateful for you and your mom. Your mom's awesome. I know Jana loves her. Like, your mom shares everything that we're doing.
Man.
And comments and
She
likes
wears that
and loves
hoodie
it
everywhere.
right on.
Yeah,
son.
that's awesome.
That's
She's
awesome.
a walking billboard for you.
That's
She's-
awesome. Thank you very much, Wendy. We appreciate
Yes.
you.
Yes, Wendy. Thank you so much. She's the best, man. She really is. Yeah, great night, and I'm glad you're here. And Chris, always we kill it.
Yeah, man.
And we'll tomorrow's another sunny day. It looks like.
Yep. We're gonna finish out the
perfect
week with
weather,
good
man.
weather, I think,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Well, it was supposed to rain yesterday. It held off for the most part.
Yeah, man.
We got a little bit of a sprinkle,
Right.
but other than that, this
Yeah.
weather's immaculate to work.
Yeah,
I wish I
man.
could have it all year
I know,
round.
man. Perfect working weather
I
for
know
sure.
it. I mean, eventually we are. Florida weather is pretty much like that. Texas weather is pretty much like that.
Yeah.
El Siete wants to go to California.
Hey,
I don't know about that.
one state at a time, homie.
York, PA, El Siete, till you die.
That's right. York
Forever.
PA for life.
Nah, great episode. And like Ty said, I just want to touch on something real quick. If you want to be a part of the team, reach out to one of us. We are not hard to get a hold of. I don't want to have to go tracking anyone down for a job, because that just shows me you're not really interested. So if somebody's really interested, hunt us down.
Yep.
Let us know. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Even if you don't think that you've ever done anything that we do, our guys can teach you how to be one of us.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle, man. It really
Anything
is.
you break, I can fix. That was some of the best advice I ever got.
There
And
you
I'll
go.
give it to somebody else.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
you just got to have the things that we can't teach you. We can't teach you how to get up out of bed every morning. We can't teach you how to have a good attitude every day. We can't teach you how to put a hard days of work in.
Right.
We can't teach you that stuff.
Yes.
But we can teach you how to do everything. How to measure, how to cut shingles, how to cut siding, how to hang gutter, how to install windows, how to install solar, how to mow yards. We can teach all that kind of stuff. But the basics, the human traits, we can't teach you that stuff. So if you have that stuff, come out and check us out, man. You definitely won't be disappointed.
Absolutely. Cool.
So yeah, we want to wrap up.
Yep. That's it.
Oh yeah, before I forget, everyone remember to vote. Voting's still going on for the best of York County.
Yes.
Best of the best, simply the best Harrisburg. Make sure you vote for us, vote for Horizon Lawns, and vote for Allied Maintenance. If you need any kind of help voting, reach out to Lauren Homko or myself or Ty. Check out our Facebook page. There's a video on there that shows you how to vote. You can vote once per day for all the categories. We'd like to bring home the gold in that. Even if we don't, it's okay, but we appreciate everyone that votes consistently every day. And David KX, thank you so much for sharing every day.
Yes.
Putting that up there and kind of reminding all of us, I think, to vote every day too. But yeah, make sure you guys do that and check out the food drive. If anyone wants to contribute to that or the GoFundMe for Richard Meyer's mom, reach out to us and we'll get you in contact with where you need to get to.
Right on.
Appreciate everyone for watching. If you have not liked and followed the page, make sure you do that. Share it with your friends. Finish out your week. Have a good rest of your week and weekend. And we will catch you guys next Wednesday for episode 73 at 7 p.m. I'll be zoomed in live from South Carolina.
Nice. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, see everyone.
See you.